This weekend marks the 75th anniversary of VE Day. The 8th of May 1945 was a day of joyous celebration as the victory in Europe marked Nazi Germany's surrender following almost 6 years of conflict and loss of life in World War II. During this conflict, Ashford, being a railway town, was a prime target for the German bombers, and on a sunny day in March 1943, 51 people lost their lives following one of these German raids on the town. Let us take a moment to remember loved ones lost on that day and the many civilian casualties. Today we're fighting an invisible enemy, COVID-19, who, like the battles during the war, is an indiscriminate enemy that we will overcome with the same tenacity that people did during the war years. And we, like the nation then, will in our towns, cities and villages have something joyous to celebrate when this current enemy fails to win. So as we join in with the national stay-at-home VE Day celebrations, indoors or on our doorstep, I encourage you all to come together as the great nation that we are and be a proud borough to mark this historic occasion. Looking back to Tuesday, 8th of May 1945, it was an emotional day that millions of people have been waiting for. Many citizens were extremely happy that the fighting in Europe had stopped and there were big celebrations. Newspapers ran the headlines as soon as they could, and special editions were printed to carry the long-awaited announcement. Various events were organised to mark the occasion, including parades, thanksgiving services, street parties, as communities joined together to share in this historic moment. Despite the current lockdown, there are a great many ways you can create your own experiences at home, with homemade bunting, wartime recipes, family quizzes, sing-alongs and much more. Photographs of the street parties and celebrations around Ashford are available to browse online on our special VE Day exhibition, and all from the comfort of your own home. A chance to discover more about Ashford in the Second World War, from evacuees to the Home Guard and Land Army. The sense of community shines through just as it does today. I am sure that many of our older generation will look back and remember this joyous day. You can also join in the many national tributes over the weekend, and through the Ashford Borough Council website there are links and resources to enable you all to enjoy this stay-at-home VE Day party weekend. As of 75 years ago, when the people across Britain gave thanks to all those who saw us through the dark and terrifying times of World War II, we also turn our hearts and minds to those who are doing just the same today. Even on this national holiday, by being in the front line, caring for others and undertaking essential duties to fight against this invisible enemy, our thanks and appreciation goes out to each and every one of you. On behalf of Ashford Borough Council, I wish you all an enjoyable weekend of celebrations, being a part of this national experience and not forgetting to stay home and keep safe. I will now read the tribute to the millions. Tribute to the millions. Let us remember those who so selflessly gave their lives at home and abroad, whose sacrifice enables us to enjoy the peace and freedom we have today. Let us remember those who came home wounded, physically and mentally, and the friends and family who cared for them. Let us remember those who returned to restore their relationships and rebuild their working lives after years of dreadful conflict and turmoil. Let us remember the families that lost husbands, sons and sweethearts. Let us remember the servicemen, merchant seamen, miners, brave civilians and others from Commonwealth and Allied countries who fought and suffered and died during several years of war. Let us remember those in reserved occupation and the brave people who kept us safe on the home front. The doctors and nurses who cared for the wounded, women and men who toiled in the fields, those who worked in the factories, who all played such a vital role in the war effort at home. During the various events of this weekend celebration, I ask you to take the opportunity to remember and reflect on the sacrifice, bravery and determination of all those who guided us through the day of victory on the 8th of May 1945. I also ask you to join with me and reach out to take a moment to remember all those from across the globe who have already lost their lives during this dreadful crisis of COVID-19, also their families and friends who are suffering their loss. No one will ever be forgotten. We will always remember them all. Our thoughts, prayers and love are with you all.